Hello and a very, very warm welcome this Tuesday evening. My name's Sean Ryan and you are, of course, watching the Planet Cruise TV show. Now, the phone number is the same as ever, 020-3696-9457. But we're not in our studio in Peterborough. Oh, no. We are on board the one and only, the stunning Britannia with P&O Cruises. But sitting next to me, we have got the one and only Captain Paul Brown. Nice to meet you,
Captain.
Captain.
Nice to meet you too, Sean.
And, we've also got Justin as well.
Yes, good to see you again, Captain.
No, you two, I gather you two are old friends, is that right?
We are. So with Justin, well, probably first met about 15 years ago and last saw Justin 10 years ago, so fantastic.
Just as he was sending me down the gangway.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
Did he have hair then? In those
he had
days?
hair, well, we both did, actually.
I'm going for the distinguished look.
Yeah.
I was going to say, congratulations, first of all. I know it's been a while now, but what a beautiful ship.
It is. I mean, you can see she is just amazing. It's so special. Designed by a London architecture group and really is state-of-the-art, beautiful modern ship.
When I think back to all of the ship launches that we did, like the White Sisters with Oceana and Adonia and then the Arcadia, what's been the highlight of the maiden season on board Britannia?
Well, of course, there was the naming ceremony itself with Her Majesty on the 10th of March. Absolutely wonderful. And then we sailed off on our maiden cruise, 14th of March, to the Mediterranean. I think my favourite cruise was the one when we circled the United Kingdom and we really showed Britain's newest superliner off to the British public. So it was a fantastic opportunity to do that.
And she's got that lovely design on the hull.
Yeah, she's got that almost 100-metre long, the Union flag on the bow. It really sort of embodies what P&O Cruise is all about, and that's offering fantastic holidays for British passengers.
Now, Captain, I've often wondered what an average day is like for you. You know, a port day, for example. What would you do on a port day?
Well, yeah, I mean, no 2 days are ever the same, which is the thing that I love about my job. But on a port day, say, for example, in Norway, going down a fjord, I might start at maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, finally dock the ship at 8 o'clock, and then there's paperwork to do and some emails and administration, and then I'll sleep in preparation for departure. But on a regular port, it offers me an opportunity to get around the ship, you know, chat with our passengers, see that they're enjoying their holidays, catch up with my colleagues on board as well. So no 2 days are the same, but that's the excitement of the job.
I can tell you love what you do.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I was going to say, coming on to the enjoyable parts, what do you think is the most enjoyable port for you? And let's sort of perhaps look at it two ways, as a technical aspect, getting the ship in, but also your favourite port where you can go ashore before you were a captain.
Yeah, before I was a captain. I think most seafarers would say that Venice is a favourite port, and sailing into Venice is a fantastic experience. Having said that, you know, I've got my favourites just as most seafarers do, so it might be New York, it's Hawaii, it's Sydney, Australia on a world cruise, it's Hong Kong, the Mediterranean, and coming into Monte Carlo. There are just so many amazing places to see. It's been a fantastic pleasure.
What would your top tip, though, be for a port to go ashore? And don't give too many things away.
Take your Visa card.
Yeah.
Take some cash. Do you know, I would actually say do research. From a passenger perspective, do research it. And, you know, either look at the tour brochure or go online or get these tour guidebooks. Really make the most of your time. You know, the ship offers shore excursions, or you can do them independently, but really enjoy your time ashore, that's what I would say.
Well, Captain, we're going to be with you a little bit later on, but thank you so much.
Yeah, pleasure.
And lovely to meet you, really is.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Now, don't forget, if you book any cruise from tonight's show with P&O Cruises, you get entered into a fantastic prize draw to win a 2-night short break. So, good luck. Well, we're sitting in a beautiful restaurant called Cinder, and here to tell us all about it is Dominic, the Senior Restaurant Manager. Nice to see you, Dominic.
Nice to meet you.
And we've also got our lovely Justin, of course.
Yeah.
This is the restaurant that everyone seems to be talking about. Now, I've not actually dined in here yet, so tell me a bit about it.
Well, stay back tonight and we'll give you a treat.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Okay, Sindhu, the word itself is a river which flows into India from Pakistan to begin with. As you know, it's a creation by Chef Atul Kochhar, who now is based in England but originally comes from Delhi. Atul has picked up the spices from India and added British tradition and flavors to it, and created its own special Indian creation altogether. And this is what Sindhu is all about.
I love that, because I can remember, with P&O Cruises, is that great heritage and tradition within India and the Pacific and Orient line. Yeah. So it's great to have that celebration. And looking at the menu, it looks amazing.
It is indeed. And there's so much on the menu. There's so much variety to starters, mains, and desserts to go all through. So you can't get bored of it, even if you dine every night of the cruise.
But it's not just about Indian food, is there? There's the glass house as well, which is all the wines are picked by Ollie Smith as well. Tell us a bit about the glass house.
The glass house, again, it's a lot of variety of wines that you have in there, and of course, as you said, Ollie Smith, the connoisseur, he personally goes around handpicks, especially for our ships and the clientele we carry, and exactly he blends it well for everyone, puts it together. And to go with it, we have our own chefs who have created lovely menus to go along, and nice pub-style food to go with it.
Well, something I was wondering, Dominic, I was thinking about all these lovely restaurants and bars. How much food and drink is consumed on an average cruise? Have you got any idea?
Roughly, I would say, not much, just about 91,000 eggs.
91,000?
Yeah, that's on a fortnight.
There's a lot of chickens.
seven tons of that. And you've got 4.5 tons of beef.
4.5 tons
of beef.
Oh, my word.
9 tons of fish. About 4 tons of cheese. And well, from UK, you love your beer, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, what were you looking at me then?
How much beer?
Draft, 13,000 tons of that.
Wow.
Sorry, litres of
13,000 litres of draft beer. Wow.
And that's before we've got board.
And to finish it all, we do carry 17,000 toilet rolls.
Well, I can say, Dominic, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure's all mine.
We cannot wait to dine in your restaurant.
Please be my guest.
Thank you. Well, our first cruise on tonight's show is a wonderful 7-night Norwegian Fjord and Waterfalls cruise from Southampton on the beautiful Britannia. And actually, if you book the cruise tonight, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a meal for 2 in Sindhu, which obviously is a restaurant that we're in right now. Justin, first of all, before we talk about the fjords, the Britannia, what a stunning ship.
And coming from somebody that used to cruise a P&O Cruises in the olden days, wow, what an absolute, in the short space of time that we've been on board today, it really has upped its game. The bars, the restaurants, the theatres, and the whole feel of the place as well. I mean, she's the newest addition to the P&O fleet, only just coming in last March, already winning awards, as we'll hear later on. But it's just that wonder of celebrating Britishness, the largest Union flag on the hull, and the lovely blue funnels as well. I remember them as yellow funnels, but it's that wonderful feel that P&O has still retained its brand, but it's moved on and it's very, very modern and contemporary. I've
seen a lot of ships. I think I must have been on 25 plus, and this is one of the most beautiful by far. And talking of beautiful, let's look at the fjords, because you'll be cruising out of Southampton. So again, as we often say, you don't have to worry about luggage. Your holiday becomes, starts straight away. You've got a first day at sea to really, really explore the ship. And we're making our way over to Bergen, aren't we?
Yeah, Norway. It's so fresh, it's so clear, it's so crisp. It's one of my favourite places. You go to the Mediterranean, you go to the Caribbean, you've got to try the Baltic. It's just absolutely amazing. Bergen itself has got a weekly fish market, so if you like having a wander around there, trying some of the local produce, you can't get fresher than straight from the harbour.
I mean, I didn't actually buy any fish, but I did take some photos, because the displays are amazing.
Yeah, when you think about the markets that we have in London, it puts it to shame. But there's these beautiful coloured houses on the shoreline. You've got the funicular railway that you can go up into the forest Paris, and of course this is the home of Edvard Grieg, the classical musician, so I expect there'll probably be some classical recitals to match, and it's that sort of real mischievous theme that runs through, because of course Norway's got this tradition with trolls and sort of that magical feel, so you know, it's a wonderful way to start off the cruise. Then we're into Norway's city port, which is Ålesund. Now it's
so when you say city,
well, it's a city port, but it's probably one of the newest city ports. I think it was about 1904. There was all of the buildings were destroyed, and Kaiser Wilhelm actually helped rebuild the city. And this is where there's a whole new, where you had Art Nouveau, there was a renaissance almost in architecture in Norway. So a lot of the buildings that you'll see will only be from the turn of the century on. So really drastically different. So you know, really, we were saying about fish earlier on. One of their delicacies is something called kipflisk, which is a dried cod. So if you really do like your delicacies, you've got to try it, haven't you? When in Rome.
Dried cod. Yeah, I might try it.
give it a try. I'm sure you'll like it. Then we're off to one of my favourite ports. When you actually turn up at this port, you'll think, where have we gone to? And that's the beauty of it. It is just this landscape of hills and fjords, mountains, and a few tiny little village houses. But if you go beyond that, that's where you see the Brickstill Glacier. I'm talking about Olden. You can wander and meander on down into the town, but this is where you want to book a tour and get out. Bear in mind, obviously, all of these ports that you go into, these are very much summer ports that the Norwegians will go to in the summertime, and then in the winter times they retreat back into their cities.
And the glacier, I mean, just fascinating. I couldn't believe the colour, like really blue.
Yeah, and it's still moving. You know, it's a living,
slowly
sort of living, breathing entity itself. You can walk up on it if you feel a little bit active, but it's not like Action Man, you know, climbing up the side. It's just on the small outskirts of the glacier. But the colours, as you said, are absolutely stunning. You might hear a few cracks as well as it just moves slowly down. Then from Olden you're on to Stavanger, and this is really the cradle of the Vikings. This is where you've got a real vibrant clash of cultures. So if you do like that cultural side, then you'll see some wonderful, authentic gifts that you can take back. And it's in one of those parts of the country. I mean, it's a country that everywhere is great for mountain biking and hiking and walking, but it's just lush green valleys. And I cannot emphasise enough, if you haven't been to Norway before, you breathe in that fresh air. We say about the fresh sea air down here, you think it's fresh, you want to go to Norway.
And then you've got a final relaxing day at sea. And don't forget, you're going to be on board the beautiful Britannia. I was just thinking 7 days. I mean, it's a nice length cruise, but
you want more time here.
You do, yeah.
You know, you've got to think as your ship as a destination. I mean, you know, what this is a great little 7-day cruise. Obviously, the ports that, you know, you've travelled that journey, that's what you want to go and see. But that final day, it's just consolidating what you already know, that this is a fantastic ship and that you want to come back, that there's more little secluded hideaways for you to find and unknown little places that you haven't been before. You go, have we been here before? Not too sure. And you just explore it. It's just a great way to do it.
And then, of course, back to Southampton. Now, don't forget, if you do book this cruise tonight, I'm sure many of you will, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a meal for two in this very restaurant in Sindhu. And from what we've heard, the most fabulous food.
Yeah, just brilliant.
Yeah. My advice would be to stay in the Meon Valley Marriott Hotel the night before. We do special deals for our customers, and you could stay there from just £89 per person, and you've got there your free parking and, of course, your transfers as well. So don't forget, if you'd like to book this fabulous cruise on board the beautiful Britannia, we've got prices starting at just £569 per person. Well, a great start to the show, but don't go anywhere, because don't forget, this is a P&O special on board the beautiful, the stunning, the one and only Britannia. Well, we're still here in the Sindhu restaurant on board the Britannia, and we're joined by a real favourite on the show, Shane Riley. Nice to see you.
I'm back.
You are
back. How are you doing?
I'm very well,
Good to see you. Welcome on board my ship.
Because I love your new ship.
Yes, beautiful, isn't she? The best new cruise ship at sea, 2015 Cruise International Award. So very proud of her indeed.
Doesn't surprise me.
I tell you what, it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I love the way that the theme of that Indian heritage is still shining through in P&O Cruises.
Absolutely. I think it's just elegance throughout the entire ship, without a doubt, and it's just becoming a very firm favourite within our fleet. So many repeat customers already.
Well, we're going to talk about the food again a little bit later on, but What's an average day like on a P&O cruise?
Well, first of all, there is absolutely no such thing as an average day on board a P&O cruiser ship. Thank you very much.
Ask a silly question.
So there's a huge range of options. The great thing about P&O cruises is we're designed for the modern British taste. So there's lots of different options on board, but my personal favourite area is the atrium. There's lots of different eateries, lots of different dining options, lots of different wine areas. You can grab a nice glass of wine from the glass house, for example. So there's lots of different options on board, and of course you've also got some incredible itineraries as well. So you can visit some great ports of call, and sailing from Southampton, no baggage restrictions as well. So you can bring as many shoes as you like, Sean. I know that's a big deal for you. So it's a great product for everybody to be able to go and explore something new on board Britannia. Of course, some of the signature features are also expanded across the rest of the fleet as well. So once you're on board a P&O ship, you know you're home.
I tell you what, I don't want to get off, do you?
No, not at all.
We're going to kick you off before.
Who would you say, though, a P&O cruise would really appeal to?
Well, I think P&O cruises, the magic about P&O cruises, it does appeal to anybody really. So if you're a couple wanted to sail without children, then we've got adult-only ships as well. So if you want to sail without children and other people's children, that's a great option for you. If you want bigger ships, we have that. So it's the ship that we're on now, Britannia, the biggest ship within the fleet. If you want more of a mid-sized ship, something like Oceana, easy to find your way around, then we've got that option as well. So for me, it's about being able to choose a cruise based on your itinerary rather than choosing your favourite ship, because each of the ships offers something completely different. So
have you got a favourite restaurant on board?
I do, yeah.
Go on.
Sindhu.
Is it?
Yeah. At Sindhu, we've got an amazing soft shell crab in here as well. It's an incredible restaurant. But curry is one of the most popular dishes in the UK, right? And here you get an amazing curry, and it's catered towards a modern British taste, as I say. So it's exquisite. It's kind of posh curry, if you like, in here. So I love it.
I think I'd be in here every night, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, all the food that we're seeing today and we've experienced so far, it's just been phenomenal.
And the thing is, you've got the choice. So you've got the incredible Horizon Court buffet as well. So you've got an amazing option in the buffet. You've got incredible restaurants, white restaurants on Marco Pierre White. You've got an amazing restaurant here by Atul Kutcher. You've got a grab-and-go restaurant as well, so grab-and-go snack bar area. So there's so many different options. As a customer, you can choose what you want when you want. So it's about creating a holiday that matches your needs, really.
And this thing, when we get asked, some of my friends that have never been on a cruise themselves, worried that there's not going to be enough to do, and we're just on a ship. I mean, it's ridiculous to say that, because compared to a land holiday, the choice. And
probably the option is the fact that there's too much to do. So you really do have to get the daily newspaper and really prioritise what you want to do, because there's always something going on. The shows are incredible, so you get some incredible shows in the night time. You get guest acts that come in, comedians, all kind of different acts that come in on board as well. Different quizzes around the ship as well. So there's so much to do.
Now, Shane, you brought us an amazing offer tonight on board the Ventura.
The beautiful Ventura.
Yeah, do you know, the great thing is Ventura was just coming in just as I was leaving P&O Cruises, but there was such an excitement about it. Great family ship.
Yeah, I'd say it was, at the time she was the biggest ship designed for the UK market, so an incredible ship to be able to explore, and she's a family-friendly ship, as you mentioned, so some great family facilities on board.
So tell us about our next cruise then, Justin.
Do you know what, the great thing about this one is a lovely 10-night cruise, and you just be encompassing some of the classic ports. You've got Spain, Portugal, and one of your favourite ports, Gibraltar.
Oh, yes. Gibraltar, always handy for the tax and duty-free. Treat yourself.
And a great price on this, actually. I'm just looking here. The price starts. Is that right? 489.
Certainly, yes.
So from Southampton, so again, I can pack all of my shoes, as you mentioned.
Take as many shoes as you like, Sean.
Justin can take all of his bags. First day is at sea, and we're making our way over to Spain, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to La Coruña, and one of the highlights you've got to go here is to the Tower of Hercules. This is a 180-foot lighthouse, which has been there for over 2,000 years, so it's an amazing thing to see. You've got a lovely old Roman town as well to wander around, so plenty of places, little streets to get lost in, so enjoy yourself there. Then there's another relaxing day at sea, and then an absolute classic on the cruise itinerary is got to be Cadiz, or Cadiz.
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 As those locals say.
Again, you've got fantastic architecture there. Of course, you've got Sherry, you've got lots to do as well. One of your favourite ports as well.
It's an amazing port, yeah. It's a lovely little town to be able to have a little wander around and find your feet in Spain. Have a bit of tapas.
I tell you, one little top tip, there's the sightseeing bus that goes around, so for a couple of euros you can go around and see it all. So get it at the right time and you'll be able to get out the sunshine.
Some incredible olives there.
Oh, really?
And then Top tip, there you go. And then from Cadiz on to Malaga. Now, of course, it's fantastic for shopping, really good for shopping. And of course, if you love your tapas, I know we've been talking about food. You've got all this wonderful food on board the ship, and then you go ashore.
I'll be honest, I hardly ever eat off the ship because the food is so good.
Yeah, you don't have to. No. You can come back on board. I know people that I've said with before, they've come back on board, had lunch, and then got back off the ship again. So
well, I've done that as well, then.
And then, of course, we mentioned it at the top, of course, Gibraltar. It's the rock. You've got to go and see the monkeys. The duty free is something you've got to indulge in as well, and it's like a home away from home.
Yeah. And the monkeys are so brazen.
Yeah, you've got to go.
Leave the car door open, they'll go and grab your banana or grab your apple. They're not fussy, to be honest. You think they'd want a banana, but they'll go for an orange, anything.
There's plenty to do, Dave.
And then over to Lisbon next, isn't it?
Do you know, one of my favourite ports, one of the great things is that where you actually dock. You go underneath this fantastic bridge that looks like the San Francisco Bridge. This is actually the 25th of April bridge. And if you take a little bit of a stroll and a wander off the ship down the actual quayside, you'll be able to take in the bridge. There's the Monument of Discoveries, where all of the explorers left from. So there's this beautiful stone carving. And then, of course, you can go on to the World Heritage Site, the Bellum Tower, which is this. It looks like a lovely little chess piece, just perfectly carved. And of course, you can't go to Lisbon without a tram ride and chicken and rosé.
Yeah. Piri piri chicken, you've got to have that. There's a lovely little square in Lisbon, isn't there? You can sit there and have a glass of wine.
And is it a P&O tradition? P&O Cruises tradition that you have chicken and chips with a lovely Matthias rosé?
You must do. You must have that. But you sail under the bridge, so you go up onto top deck, right to the very top of the ship as you're sailing out of Lisbon. It's almost like you can touch the bridge on the way out, isn't it? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I know the final 2 days are at sea, and you know, although we've been to some lovely ports, you know, all the cruises that we've got on the show, I really like sea days.
Yeah, and the last 2 days great because you can just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Think about all the memories you've shared all the throughout the cruise. The shops will be open on board, so you can go around and spend any of your on-board credit, or go around the ship and make the most of the facilities on board without worrying that you're missing out on something at shore. So.
You know, entertainment, I know we've touched on that already, but you know, to be able to spend those days, you know, seeing the shows at night, it's just amazing.
You can have a few late nights, you can have a few shows.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true, actually,
You can order some room service breakfast to your stateroom and sit back and relax. My top tip for a sea day is just don't get off the ship. So
I tell you though, it's actually a good point that you can have that late night because there's nothing to get up and go ashore for. So many people do tours, they feel as if they have to get up early to go and do the tour. But that sea day, have that late night and have that lie-in.
You can go watch the show, go make a donation at the casino.
Oh yes.
Go and have some late night drinks. You know, you can really make the most of it.
And even on the very last day, you know, you sometimes say, oh, you know, when it gets to the evening, things will be kind of shutting down. That doesn't happen on a ship, does it?
No, the bar's shut when the last person staggers out, basically.
That's normally us, yeah.
So we will stay open as long as you want us open, basically.
Well, Shane, thank you so much.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, we've got...
I brought you all the way down on my ship for that.
Well, OK, I'll give you a few final words. For anyone that's not booked with P&O before, what would you say?
Just do it. It'll be the best holiday you ever have.
Well, if you'd like to go for this, I've got to say, the price is amazing. We are looking at just £489. That is, of course, for a 10-night cruise. Actually, we did forget to mention something really important. The first 5 bookings tonight win...
P&O binoculars.
Yes, P&O binoculars. There you go, for the first 5 bookings tonight. Got to say, the balcony price is really good on this one as well, $689, and you can get an outside from $539 as well.
Bargain.
For 10 nights.
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing. Shane, thank you so much. You've made us laugh as ever.
Thank you, chaps.
Yeah, oh, here we go.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Always a pleasure. I'll see you soon.
Hello there. Well, if you have just joined us, this is a very special Planet Cruise show because we're actually on board the stunning, the beautiful Britannia with P&O Cruises. Now, one of my favourite places on board the ships is always the theatre, and we're actually in the Headliners Theatre right now. She is stunning, and I'm joined by the entertainment manager, the one and only Neil Oliver. Nice to see you, Neil.
You too. Thanks for coming to visit us.
Oh, pleasure. Beautiful theatre here, isn't it?
We're very proud, and every evening I'm in here and there's something different every night, so to walk into here, it's amazing, so thank you.
Now, it maybe sounds like a silly question, but do the guests have to pay to come and see the shows in here?
In the theatre, no, and on a typical 14-night cruise, there's a different show every night.
Really?
So it's in here, you can come in here, watch a show after dinner, which is great, and sometimes before dinner. Some of our production shows, we offer 3 performances, so you can go before dinner. And having said that, there is a venue called the Limelight Club, which we'll talk about maybe, which is you can dine and watch a show there as well for a small cover charge, which is great.
And you've had some really big acts there, haven't you, recently?
Yeah, some people that are out there still working, do phenomenal shows, like Kiki D from Elton John, Kiki D, Don't Go Back My Heart with We've had Dean Andrews from the TV and all these people, Jackie Graham, 80s superstar, so they do great shows. So they work the Limelight Club, yeah.
And I gather you two used to know each other, is that right?
Still do. This is still the boss.
Oh, so you were Justin's boss?
Yeah, years ago, 10 years.
Yeah, you still are. You still are.
What was he like?
Perfect. I actually auditioned him. Do you know that? He walked in, and I've got to tell you this without embarrassing. He walked in, and I said, "He'll get the job," because he was immaculate. He was so smart. That it was sort of
things
downhill.
change. Yeah.
The thing is, though, the inaugural seasons have always got that excitement. You know, with the White Sisters like Oceana and Adonia and then Arcadia, there was always that excitement. What's the highlight of this season been for you?
For me, this season has got to be the planning and the putting together of the Strictly Come Dancing cruises. They're always very special, and we've got the Crystal Ballroom on here, which is just the home for it, and we have all the superstars on and performing here with their great showcase shows. So, yeah, we really enjoy those, and the passengers are really up with the passenger competitions, and you can join in if you want or just watch. So they're the highlight for me personally.
What I'm amazed about is the standard of the shows, because I love the West End, but obviously the prices are a premium. To be able to come here and see a West End style show and not pay a penny, I think it's amazing.
They are, and then the theatre company we've got at the moment, who are incredible, the Britannia Showcast, with these brilliant shows, with the technology we've got. We've had other theatres come and have a look at what we've got. We've got LED stuff on here.
So how does that work then?
Well, it's at the flick of a switch, or a little bit harder than that, the entire scene changes. We've gone from being on a tube train going underground to going up into Carnaby Street, and then it rains and all these things. So it's very, very clever. Another one, we have a show called Gravity, which takes us to the moon and comes back. It's just, you've got to see it to believe it. Incredible.
We're trying to stay on board, aren't we? We're working on it.
Trying to.
Yeah, just mention my name.
I was going to say, yeah. And just looking at theatre, how many customers and guests can actually come to the theatres?
We work on there's about 907 seats.
Really?
Yeah, so for an evening where we run 3 performance times, that's 3 times 907. So, we run that throughout the evening. So, as I said, every night is something different.
And I noticed, even the chairs, they're so comfy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And you've got to remember, we use it during the day as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, if we've got a big blockbuster movie, we can use the theatre for that, and guest speakers as well. We use guest speakers that come on and lecture and talk about different things, everything from royal correspondence, a bit like the old days, really, just, and those people out there in the media now, which is great.
And Neil, I can tell you love your job, but you've worked in the cruise industry for a long time, haven't you?
Yes. I've been at sea 25 years.
Wow.
I was 10 when I started. 25 years. And it's great how things have progressed and got bigger and brighter. I mean, when I first came to sea, I think we had 700 passengers on board. And now I've got nearly 4,000. We can go up to 600 children in the summer, which is brilliant. And we've got a great youth department on board, which look after our younger passengers beautifully.
And I know with P&O Cruises you get a lot of repeat customers, don't you?
I love newcomers, because they come on board and they come on, like today, they'll walk on board and go, wow, we didn't think it was going to be that big, we're never going to find our way around, but they do. It takes about an hour, then they're fine with it. But the repeat we love, because I use, like when you're at sea, you walk around the ship and everyone knows your name. You don't have to start again. People come up and say, oh, hi, we were on with you last year. They sometimes remember more what I've been doing than what I do. That's great. Yeah, we love the repeat.
Well, we are nearly out of time. Justin, I know you wanted to get on stage and sing a little song.
Right.
Is that right? Is that
just
okay?
for old time's sake.
Go on then.
Go on then. You need a bit of warming up in rehearsal.
Project, Justin.
Yes, project. Neil, can I say thank you so much.
Thanks for visiting us.
Yeah, and I can't wait to come on board actually and see all of the shows.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Thank you, Neil.
Have a great one.
I tell you what, Justin, it really is magical in here, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's just great to be back in such a lovely environment.
I feel like singing. Anyway, I'm not going to, because our next cruise is a 7-night Italy, Corsica and Greece cruise from Venice. What a lovely port to cruise from.
I was going to say, I know it's one of Captain Paul Brown's favourite ports to sail in and out of, and Venice, it really is epic. You've got to get up on deck, you've got to see all the wonderful islands of Murano that are just off there. Raise a glass of Prosecco or two and just enjoy that sail out of Venice.
So you've got that lovely, sail out of Venice. Flights are obviously included on this one at a price of just $539. First days at sea, isn't it?
First days at sea. Great to familiarise yourself with the ship because, you know, Oceana is a fantastic ship. She's actually one of the White Sisters that I actually helped launch along with Adonia, so she holds a special place in my heart, so you'll really enjoy it. But yeah, the first port of call is into Montenegro, and this is fantastic. You've got a lovely walled city here, a big maritime history, and the seafood is really, really great. One place to go is St Trifon's Cathedral, and also if you fancy doing some of the religious relics, then you can go to the Roman Catholic Church, which is the Lady of our Rocks. So that's Montenegro. Then we're off to Corfu. Now, of course, this is the birthplace of Prince Philip. Got to get that in, seeing it being on board. And of course, there's some fantastic places like the Achillean Palace. You've got the Mon Repus Villa, and of course, the whole island is just full of these lovely little tavernas and little fishing villages, so you can really go and explore. Then we've got a really interesting day because you're actually cruising the Strait of Messina. So this is a day at sea, but with plenty to see. So if you like things like the transit through the Panama Canal or the Suez Canal, then you're going to love this. So it's a lovely day. Maybe have some commentary from the captain or one of the commentators on board, and just enjoy that day at sea out on deck. Then it's a biggie. It's Rome. Of course, here you're going to be able to go to the Vatican City, see the Sistine Chapel, perhaps you go to see the Trevi Fountain, throw a coin in there. There's thousands of euros that are actually retrieved for charity in the Trevi Fountain every day. Also, you've got the Colosseum, you've got the Spanish Steps, plenty to see and do in Rome. I would say book a tour early because you really do want to have that full experience and cram everything in one day. Then we're off to Corsica. Now, this is a beautiful blend. You've got French and Italian feel here, and of course Ajaccio was the actual birthplace of Napoleon Bonaparte. So if you want to do a little bit of history, then you can do, or if you want to do some outdoor stuff, then there's some lovely forest to walk through. Then we're back into our final port of call, which is Genoa. It's just a brilliant cruise.
And don't forget, by the way, if you want to add on any hotel stays, maybe post or pre-cruise, we can arrange those for you. The flights are based on London flights, but we can also offer you Manchester or Birmingham, depending on the departure dates. Now, just looking at the price on this one, Justin, I mean, $539, flights included. I always think it's nice to have a view if you can. And we've actually got upgrades to outside for just £50 more, and actually balconies starting this evening at just $739. So don't forget, if you'd like to book right now, do give us a call. And I've got to say, of all the cruises we've had so far, this is one of my favourites. The port's really good.
I was going to say, fantastic
really
start and fantastic places in the middle.
Well, I don't know where Justin's gone, but I've just been joined by the lovely Emma, who's the Assistant Entertainment Manager on board. Emma, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, entertainment's always a big part for me, actually, on a cruise ship. And I gather you were involved in the Saturday night Takeaway Live. What was that like?
Well, what an exciting experience. Of course, we were very lucky on Britannia to be able to host the first ever live broadcast from a ship. So Britannia was docked in Barcelona, and of course all the passengers are on board right up here at the Lido pool, but they could also get involved around the ship. In fact, I was down in the live lounge with Stacey Solomon, so they were filming in the live lounge, in Brodie's, the theatre, so everyone really got involved.
It's been so exciting.
It was amazing.
And it did look fantastic as well.
Amazing. What an opportunity.
Now, some of our viewers might have never been on the Britannia or cruised with P&O, so what kind of entertainment do you get during the daytime?
Well, we often get asked, well, what can we do?
Yeah.
Our first answer is you can do as much as you want or nothing at all, but we offer things from dance classes. You could learn a new skill. You can learn ballroom dance, Latin dance, tap dance, or even line dance. We have guest speakers on board. The shops team, the spa, also give talks. You can watch films. We also offer things like iPad workshops and things like that. So there's lots to get involved in.
So you'll never be bored, I tell you. Anyway, Emma, thank you so much. Do you know what? I've just spotted Justin. Guess where he is? Can you see him down there? Yes, he's having a drink in the Lido bar.
Well, thanks, Sean. Yes, we are here at the Lido bar, and these cocktails always taste better when they're on the cruise director's number. But we're here in the hustle and bustle of the Lido bar, and we're here with Ian Powell, who works shoreside with P&O Cruises. Tell us what you do with P&O.
That's right, yeah. So I'm business manager for national partnerships, which means I look after some of our relationships with our travel agent partners, Planet Cruise, of course, being one of the most important. So that's what I'm doing based in the office here in Southampton.
And obviously it's great to come down to the ship and see it in situ.
Yeah.
One of the things that, you know, obviously P&O Cruises is great for is first-time cruises, and if you've never cruised before, you know, it's a great opportunity. But one of the things that lots of passengers ask is what happens with cash on board? Do we have to carry cash? How do we charge it to our room? What happens with that?
Yeah, so when you first join us in Southampton, you'll register a credit card or debit card, and that becomes your onboard account. So you're given an onboard account and you can charge things to that. Now, something we do offer is onboard spending money. Now, onboard spending money is a benefit of select price. So when you're making your booking, if you book a select price fare, along with some other great benefits, you're going to receive onboard spending money.
And what can you actually spend that on board? What sort of areas?
Yeah, so onboard spending money can be used on a lot more things than I think people realise. Of course, one of the most important, it can be used at the bars on any of your drinks. You've also got our speciality dining. It can be used on gratuities, the spa and salon. You've got our laundry service as well, our photography services. We've also got loads of great shops on board, lots of high street names, and you can use it in any of those shops as well.
I tell you what, somebody who loves his shore excursions is our Sean.
Here he is.
How you doing? You're right. I saved a drink for you. A little.
It's not quite full, is it? I was just listening to you, Ian, talking about onboard spending money, which is great, isn't it? And I know that the next cruise around the Caribbean actually features some of that, doesn't it?
It does, that's correct, yep. Yes, that's right. Yep.
Yes. So, let's take a look. Yes, our next cruise tonight is on board this stunning ship, the Britannia, and it's a 15-night cruise from Southampton right the way over to Barbados. This is a beauty, isn't it?
It's great sailing out of Southampton. Again, for those of you that don't like flying, who can't fly, it's a great way to get to the Caribbean, and it's a great way to get there. All of these facilities, I mean, we've only been on board a short time. People are enjoying themselves as well. So, you know, you can get to see that wonderful ship that, you know, it's going to become your floating hotel.
It is nice to have those first few days, isn't it, to settle in. And we're making our way over to the Azores, aren't we?
Yeah,
I've never been there.
Ponta Delgada. All I'd say is you've got to book a tour here, so, you know, definitely get online and have a look on what's available through Planet Cruise. It just saves time from when you get on board. Ponta Delgada, obviously, is where they stock up for all of their onboard stocks, and then we go across the Caribbean. Well, what a wonderful way to start the Caribbean ports, which is St Martin.
One of my favourite places.
It's a Dutch and it's a French island, so it's an interesting clash of culture.
And they're very different, aren't they, the two sides?
Really, I mean, the main drag that you've got is very well modernised. So you've got, you know, fantastic walkways, great duty-free shops, and all of you know, all your spirits and liquors while you're out there. A great beach. One of the things you should do though is there's two of the original America's Cup sailing yachts that are actually based in St Martin, and you can go out as part of the crew, and you don't have to worry about, you know, how to sail. They'll teach you how to do it. So that's one definitely to do. Then we're off from St Martin. We're off to St Kitts. Now, it's a very green, lush island. There's some fantastic historical stuff to do with some of the forts. But all I'd say is you've got to go and have a look at Port Zante, which is the main cruise terminal. It is a real hustle and bustle of that local market feel of the Caribbean. You know, the steel drums playing, all the wonderful colours, all the food and the spices flowing. So you've got to have a look around there. Bring back some gifts. Of course, you can do some outdoor activities as well. And Mount Nevis is one definitely to go and see.
I'll be honest, I tend to be really lazy in the Caribbean. I don't do it. But anyway.
Now we're off to
Dominica, isn't it?
Yeah, or Dominica, actually. Everybody thinks it's the Dominican Republic. It's actually Dominica.
Dominica.
And this is a wonderful island. Again, very green and very lush. And the actual islanders are very, very proud of their heritage. So I'd actually say, if you're feeling brave, you want to go ashore and take some of the local culture, go and get a local taxi tour. Have a little bit of a barter and negotiate, a few dollars here and there, and get them to take around their home island, because they're so proud. You can see the national park. One place to go there is Champagne Beach. You've got to go there, not because of the champagne, but the bubbles actually filter through the sand. So if you like snorkeling, then you're actually snorkeling through these wonderful bubbles coming up from the ocean bed. There's some great pools and waterfalls as well. It very much looks like a shampoo advert, not that I know much about that. Then we're off to the Spice Island, which is Grenada. This has got a fantastic beach. Again, it's the Caribbean, you can't go wrong. The one to go to is Grand Am Beach. And what you want to do is you want to get a water taxi round. It's one of the most exhilarating, it's almost a tour in itself. And you get the water taxi round onto the beach, and then of course you can come back into the spice market. A lot of the top chefs, especially like we've been talking with P&O Cruises, they love to get their spices from the spice island that is Grenada.
And I must admit, I do remember them smelling absolutely wonderful.
Oh, the nutmegs, and go careful with some of the jerk chickens, they are really, really hot. Then we're off to Bridgetown, Barbados. Now, this is where you actually end your cruise, but you end with an overnight, and I think there's a great difference between a port, when they say night and day, the difference really is, and Barbados has got a great link with P&O. We used to spend near enough every 2 weeks an overnight there, so it was a great relaxation for the crew, so you'll see that family atmosphere, and ask the crew, get friends with them, and they'll tell you the best places to go. If they don't, I'm going to tell you, because you've got to go to the boatyard in the day, and at night time you want to go to Harbour Lights. It's been popularised by some of those reality TV series, and also St Lawrence Gap. It's not too far away, and that's where a lot of the local musicians have launched their careers. I don't think I have to mention any names, and if you fancy being a little bit flush, head off to Sandy Lane where all the glitz and glamour is.
And then, sadly, your flight back to the UK. Now, the flights are based on London Gatwick. We've also got flights available, actually, from Birmingham or Manchester, just for a small supplement there. And don't forget, with this one, you will get up to £200 spending money on board as well, depending on which cabin you actually book. One other thing we need to remind you of, if you are booking any of the cruises from tonight's show on board the beautiful Britannia, then you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a short break for 2 people with P&O Cruises. And all the terms and conditions are on our website. I'll tell you what, though, we're having a great time, aren't we?
I know, it's just a shame we couldn't just grab a cocktail and just kick back.
We can. We've got our onboard spending money, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Well, our final part of the show is very exciting. We're actually in the Cookery Club, and we're joined again by Rob Cotton. Nice to see you, Rob.
Good to see you.
This looks amazing. So tell us about the Cookery Club experience. What's involved in it?
Well, it's all about having fun on your cruise and enjoying your food. So we have everything set up here for you, so you can enjoy the experience, and of course, no washing up.
No washing up? Oh, fantastic. And when it comes to learning to cook, I mean, do you have to be experienced, or can you be like Justin, absolutely useless? Can you?
I'm good at eating food, but it's just like preparing food.
That's a good quality to have. It's a good quality to have. You can be completely inexperienced cook. You can be a really confident home cook, and we can teach everybody. So if you've never done that skill before, we can train you up in it. If you have done that, you've made bread before, but you want to improve it, we can give you those skills, and of course some delicious food at the end to taste.
And do you get some of the guests that actually surprise you? Any that might go into the galley?
I think there's some who have got a wealth of cookery experience but just don't realise it, and you're kind of just scratching the surface, and all of a sudden they realise they can cook more than they can. It's a case of getting a bit more confidence. So get that confidence, enjoy your food more, and take the recipes away home to have a go again.
So it's a beautiful kitchen as well, isn't it?
It's stunning. It is.
I was going to say, it doesn't look anything like home.
Sorry, I was just thinking that, actually. What are your favourite dishes that you get to prepare with the guests then?
Well, we've got, in a 2-week cruise, we've got 14 to 18 different classes that we run. So, but if I had to pick one, it's the Thai street food class and the chicken satay with a peanut dipping sauce, which you make from scratch up here. It's amazing.
See, it's so difficult that we've been on board all day and we haven't had a chance to try any of this food. We've seen all the wonderful pictures on board. We should come back and have a tasting.
I think we should.
Yeah, I'm sure we can arrange something.
And is there an opportunity for the passengers on board to interact and meet some of the food heroes as well?
Oh, very much so, very much so. So we have master classes up here where we've got our food heroes and celebrity chefs that are teaching you how to cook, and they'll come round and help you to finish the dishes. There's also on the eating side of things, you can come up and
you're looking at me
and be entertained. You said you're a good eater. You can be entertained up here. There's a hosted dinner where someone like Marco will cook dinner. You'll see him cook it, a bit like the most intimate chef's table you've ever had. He sits down and has dinner with you as well, so a chance to get up close with the celeb chefs.
And also having the fantastic wine selection on board that I've seen today as well.
I didn't notice that. Just one final question. How long have you been on board with P&O Cruises then?
So I've been on board since the very inception of Britannia. So I've seen this beautiful cookery club as just a metal box and seen it grow over the years to everything kitted out. So I've been on for a good couple of years with the team, and a year on.
And have you made a lot of friends with some of the passengers?
Absolutely, and we've got people that come back on their second or third cruise and come back here again. We even have people who book on 5 or 6 classes in the one cruise because they enjoy it so much.
The thing is, do they bring their own recipes and say, oh, you need to try this in the restaurant?
There are some people who say, I've got a great recipe, and as a chef you're always learning. So I'm always keen to find out new recipes, new tweaks on things, new takes on things. So it's fascinating.
And just looking around, how many people actually take the class at one time?
So we can quite comfortably have up to 24 guests up here working in pairs at the workstation. So if you've come together, you can enjoy the experience together. If you've come by yourself, we pair you up so you can enjoy it a bit more sociable.
We'll have to do a class together then. Who's
going to get the rolling pin and who's going to get the knives?
I couldn't possibly say.
Listen, we are out of time, but Rob, thank you so much.
Pleasure, no worries.
And we'll see you again soon.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you, Rob, for that fabulous insight into life on board at the Cookery Club. Now, our final deal tonight with P&O Cruises is a fantastic 40-night Western Med cruise with Marco Pierre White. And the great thing is, Justin, this one goes straight from Southampton again, doesn't it?
Yeah, again, this is the great British sail away from Southampton. You know, you can take as much luggage as you like as well. And one of the great things is if you don't like to fly, or perhaps if you can't fly, it's your gateway to the Mediterranean. This is an absolute classic itinerary.
And it does mean as well, your cruise starts straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, that's one thing that P&O Cruises does very well, and that's the Great British Sail Away. The entertainment team are all up on board, and you know, it's really that sort of spirit of Britannia.
Well, the first 2 days are at sea, so you get to explore this beautiful ship, and she is absolutely stunning.
You'll need 2 days to go all the way around her. She's got some fantastic features. I mean, the atrium is one feature I particularly like.
I've got to say, she's one of the most beautiful ships I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then our first port is Cadiz, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a great way just to ease yourself into the cruise, and of course, Cadiz, you've got all those classic tours that you want to go on to. So, of course, this is your sherry region, this is your orange vines as well, and there's some great historic stuff to do as well. There's some fantastic cathedrals. One point in the port that you need to go to is the Royal Andalusian School of Equestrian Art. So if you like something a little bit different, you've got these wonderful horse shows with these fantastically groomed horses. So if you like something a little bit different, then you've got a relaxing day at sea before you go into the big ports. Now these are fantastic ports. Barcelona, straight away, you've got great shopping in Barcelona, but of course you've got great architecture with all the Gaudi buildings. But one place you've got to go to is La Ramblas. So this is the main thoroughfare. You've got some fantastic street performers, you've got great cafes and bars, and the food is absolutely fantastic. Again, if you like your architecture, you want to go to the cathedral that's still not finished, the Sagrada Familia. There's some great little restaurants around outside of there. If you like your football, of course, you can go to the Nou Camp. And if you like your Formula One, of course, you've got the Circuit de Catalunya.
I mean, there is some, and we often forget to mention, but you've actually got beautiful beaches there as well, haven't you?
Some great beaches as well. After Barcelona, you're going to be going into Monte Carlo, and again, this is one of my favourite ports because, of course, the F1 history there. They've been racing there for 80 years now, and believe it or not, there's 35,000 people squeezed into that small principality. And bear in mind, the estate agents now are not just selling by square metre, they're selling by square inch. That's how expensive it is. So you're really rolling with the high rollers there. You'll get to see all the famous corners as well. You've got the Café de Paris and Casino Square. You can go to Portier, the tunnel, the Louis Chiron, which is the oldest race driver that actually raced at the circuit at 58 years of age. And of course, you can do all of this. Probably won't be as fast as the lap record, which is 1 minute 18. But you know, you'll have some great fun there. Then you're on to Florence and Pisa. Now, this is, of course, your port where you can do both. Book a tour nice and early on this one because it really is worth seeing.
And you would have time to do both, would you?
Definitely. You can do a tour where you do both of them. So you can go to the Ponte Vecchio Bridge, you can see David, the famous sculpture, and then of course you can go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa as well. But it's one of those days, book it in advance so you can save a little bit of time on board. Then you're going to be going into Rome. We get even bigger. So you've got the Vatican City, you've got the Sistine Chapel, you've got the Colosseum, you've got the Spanish Steps, you've got the Trevi Fountain. All of this again can be done in one day. day.
Now, you've been doing a lot, so you get a day at sea. Again, there's going to be so much happening on board this beautiful ship, isn't there? Days at sea, I love the days at sea.
Well,
really
it's just a case of, you know, we're in the Cookery Club now, there's always something going on. There's a great entertainment programme going on board. Last port, or penultimate port of call, is Cartagena in Spain. Classic Spanish port. Of course, this is where Hannibal's Spanish headquarters were during the Second Punic War with Rome. You've got some great beaches, well, 175 miles of beaches. But the port that we finish on, it was my first ever port with P&O cruises, Gibraltar, and you don't get more British than that. You go, really don't, you've got to go up the rock, you've got to go and see the monkeys. Don't feed them because they will literally take anything out of your hands and your bags. Great duty free as well, and it's just that little bit of England, but in Spain.
And then your final 2 days are at sea, and you know those last 2 days is going to be great entertainment. You might want to do the cookery class that we've done. So much happening on board this stunning ship.
You can do as little or as much as you want. If you just want to relax on the promenade deck, I mean, she's got some great, lovely open spaces. But it is activities like this which P&O have really evolved on over the last decade from when I was actually sailing with them.
So let's just remind you of everything that is included in this outstanding cruise. So the price is £1,289 per person. That's for 14 nights. And don't forget, this is a food hero sailing with Marco Pierre White, you've got Alex James and Charlie Turnbull all on board. And if you are booking this cruise tonight, you will be entered into a prize draw to win a cookery masterclass with the one and only Marco Pierre White on board. So give us a call right now on, of course, that free phone number. Well, we're going to finish the show with, of course, the captain. Yes, Captain Paul Brown is back with us. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, Sean.
Got to say, we've had a fantastic time on board. It's amazing.
It's an amazing ship, isn't it? I mean, you've now had a chance to really look around the ship, and it really is a wonderful place to spend the holiday.
I was going to say, in that short space of time that we've been on board just today, there's so many places to see, and that's the exciting thing, that if you're at home looking at this and thinking, I'd like to try it, you're going to be able to explore. But, I mean, the atrium's absolutely fantastic. I mean, can you tell us a little bit more about the chandelier?
Yeah, well, that chandelier is what we call the starburst, and of course navigators, seafarers are always navigated by the stars, so that's really our sort of vision of the starburst, a traditional nautical feature of the ship with a kind of a modern twist, I guess. Fantastic.
Love the way.
I haven't tried changing the lamps, having said that, but we'll see.
No, I was just wondering, walking around, how many passengers are on board and crew members?
So, normally we would have around 3,650 passengers on board. In the summertime, when we use our upper berths and we have perhaps a few more children on board, that might go up to about 3,800. But normally 3,650, and a ship's company, almost 1,400 of us on board.
Really? Yeah. As many as that?
All here.
No wonder the service is so good.
Yeah, well, all here to give our passengers an amazing holiday. Yeah.
The thing is, you're saying about the 1,400 crew members, you know, it's amazing the time that I've had away from P&O Cruises and coming back, and actually still seeing a lot of the bartenders, a lot of the waiting staff, you know, they're still here and they've still got that smile on their face.
We have a really loyal workforce, you know, they enjoy working for us, you know, I think we're an employer of choice for them, and they very much like it. Our passengers love that interaction, the fact that, you know, they'll remember a passenger's name from 5 or 10 years ago. It's just amazing.
It's how they interact as well. I heard it as well, you were interacting on a different level with battle chefs. Can you say this was part of the maiden season, wasn't it?
We had our Battle Chefs TV series, which was filmed up in the cookery school that you had an opportunity to look at. And that was really great. I think Marco Pierre White, one of our food heroes, he kind of helped them an awful lot, probably more than was shown on the TV. And it was great. There was one particular night when I was really looking forward to my dinner, and then Jenny Eclair dropped the main course on the deck. But other than that, it was a great experience. And a bit nerve-wracking for them, but also I was choosing passengers to take along to this amazing dinner, and then to get the main course dropped on the floor. But no, it was a great experience. And hopefully it showed again some of the quality of the ship.
And a bit different for you, really, because obviously Marco Pierre White was in charge as head chef. Yes, chef, and usually you're in charge.
Well,
and Paul, I gather where we're sitting right now, this is where Ant and Deck were on Saturday Night Takeover. Is that right?
So we had our Ant and Deck Saturday Night Takeover, which is a fantastic show. Went out on the Saturday night. Delighted that they came on board on the Friday night. We had a gala reception in this atrium for all of our passengers. And Ant Deck came here onto this balcony and spoke with our passengers. So that was great that they could all have an opportunity to see them. And I think the show was a big success.
Yeah, really, it was so exciting actually.
I'm just thinking though, which side did Ant stand and which side did Deck stand? Are we on the right side?
I don't know. Well, I know we're nearly out of time. Have you got any final questions, Justin?
I was just going to say, what's your highlight of the maiden season been?
Oh, I think just the delight of seeing passengers experience Britannia. We've had some fantastic holidays, lots of great reviews, and it's just been an absolute pleasure. And, you know, how proud could I be to be the master of Britannia? It's just an amazing ship.
Well, thank you so much for taking time with us tonight.
Pleasure. Thanks
really
very
nice
much.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Well, let's recap the 5 amazing offers we had tonight, of course, with P&O Cruises on board the beautiful Britannia. Now, we started off, one of my favourite places to cruise is, of course, the Norwegian Fjords. You're going to be aboard this stunning ship for 7 nights. An amazing price as well. And don't forget, if you book this cruise tonight, you'll be entered into that prize draw to win a meal for 2 in Sindhu on board a stunning restaurant. Then we moved on to the beautiful Ventura. Now, this is a 10-night Spain, Portugal and Gibraltar cruise from Southampton, and for 10 nights we have got a price of $489. Fantastic balcony option on that as well. Don't forget, the first 5 bookings for that deal will of course win a pair of P&O binoculars. Then we moved on to the Oceana, which was a 7-night Italy, Corsica and Greece cruise from Venice. You might remember the captain was saying what a beautiful port Venice is to cruise out of. This one starts at just $539. Got some lovely dates there across June and of course July and August. Now, one of my favourite places to cruise is of course the Caribbean, and we had the beautiful 15-night Caribbean cruise from Southampton all the way over to Barbados. And we are looking there at under £1,200 tonight. That's £1,189 per person, based of course on flights from London Gatwick. We have, though, don't forget, got flights available also from Birmingham and Manchester for just a small supplement. And then last but by no means least, we're back on board the Britannia with the 40-night Western Med cruise with of course Marco Pierre White on board, and we are looking at just £1,289 and a balcony price of $1,589. And don't forget, if you book any of the cruises from tonight's show with P&O, you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a 2-night short break with P&O Cruises in a balcony cabin. All the terms and conditions are of course on our website.
Wow, what a show, what a ship. It's just been
fantastic.
I mean, it's been great to come back and see how, you know, all the ships have progressed on. It's been great to see some familiar faces. And that's the thing, when you come cruising with P&O Cruises, you will see those people again and again. It starts to feel like a real family, but what a ship.
Well, just, I think I've been on about 25 ships, and this is one of the most beautiful ever. I want to stay on board, don't you?
Yeah, and Sinead, so apart from the offers, all those great competitions as well.
Well, we are sadly out of time, but we will see you next week. We'll be back in the studios, unfortunately, with Planet Cruise.